Sean Diddy Combs could be sexually assaulted, violently assaulted. Is that a thing? Because based on what was said in court.
And it happens in prison. I mean, you and I could tick off how many times we are aware of somebody getting seriously
Diddy's
injured
lawyer,
or killed
Mark
in prison.
Garagos, didn't sugarcoat a thing. He came straight out and said it. Diddy's being targeted. Word is, someone even tried to come at him with a weapon while he was locked up at the MDC. The attack didn't go through, but the message was crystal clear. Somebody wanted him hurt, and that alone changes the whole game. Now it makes sense why Diddy's reaching out and asking for help. Garagos laid it out. This kind of danger isn't rare behind bars. People get jumped, people get taken out, and when you're a high-profile celebrity with money and fame, the target on your back gets even bigger. That's why Garagos said the authorities won't have a choice but to keep Diddy under tight watch. Not because he's after special treatment, but because the threat is real. Even Jaguar Wright had something to say about it. She questioned how a man who once spoke with full-blown confidence about every move he made must be feeling now that the control's been snatched away. When those cell doors slam shut, there's no stage, no spotlight, no fans, just silence and reality staring you down. On top of everything, Jaguar Wright didn't hold back for a second. She went straight for Diddy's image, dragging his PR stories and calling them nothing but fake talk. She even claimed Diddy was no man of God, saying he was out here worshiping the devil himself. That's a wild accusation, and it had people talking fast. Jaguar also pointed out that the 50 Cent documentary painted Diddy as the only villain, while everyone else who had dirt on their hands somehow got left out of the picture. She said that kind of setup doesn't protect Diddy. It isolates him. It leaves him standing all alone in a world where being alone can get you hurt real quick. And she wasn't denying everything either. Jaguar admitted that some parts of those videos had truth in them, especially when it came to the Quad Studios shooting and Jimmy Henchman. But she said one major thing was missing: context. To Jaguar, that whole thing wasn't just some random coincidence, it was a straight-up message. She circled right back to the documentary and broke it down piece by piece. Her biggest problem wasn't even what they showed, it was what they left out. She said the film made it look like one man, Diddy, was at the center of the storm, while the others who played major roles got quietly erased from the story. That kind of editing, she claimed, made everything look way too polished, too controlled, and that's what made it dangerous. When you single someone out and paint them as the only villain, you're not exposing the truth. You're building a target on their back. Then she started questioning the timing. Why did all this information suddenly drop after the verdict and sentencing? Why was a whole documentary announced a year before the trial even began? Before the raids, before the arrests, yet somehow ended up with footage that couldn't have existed back then? That didn't sound like luck to her. It sounded planned. Jaguar didn't stop there. She called out how the public's view of the case was being carefully shaped behind the scenes. She mentioned clips showing legal strategies being discussed out loud, talk about counterclaims, spinning headlines, and setting the narrative way before any charges were even filed. That kind of footage popped up online for a quick moment, and then, just like that, it vanished. Jaguar threw out the question everyone was thinking. Who lost that footage, and who just happened to find it? That mystery alone got people talking non-stop. But the real twist came when folks started asking the bigger question. What could push 50 Cent to go this hard against Diddy? What would make him want to tear the man down completely? The answer, according to Gene Deal, is wild enough to shock anybody. Gene broke it down. Early in the 50s career, he was grinding behind the scenes, writing for other artists, dropping ideas, and slowly building his name in New York. He was supposed to be the next big thing. But then, out of nowhere, everything flipped. Doors started closing, moves got blocked, and opportunities just disappeared. So when people wonder why 50 Cent's got no love for Diddy, Gene said it plain. If someone helped hold you back, cut off your shine, and had ties to the folks who wanted you out of the picture, that kind of thing sticks forever. You don't forget that. You don't just turn the other cheek after something like that. And you definitely don't start playing nice. That's exactly the vibe Sly Diggler was hinting at when he painted his picture of Diddy's behavior. According to Sly, Diddy always had this deep need for control. He wasn't just moving out of attraction or fun. Every move he made felt calculated, almost like part of a long game. Sly said one situation stood out more than anything. Out of everyone in the world, Diddy decided to get involved with 50 Cent's child's mother. That's not just messy, that's personal. And Sly swore this wasn't about running out of options either. He said he'd been to Diddy's parties. Women were always coming up to him, no shortage of attention at all. So to Sly, that choice looked way too deliberate. Why pick someone tied so closely to a man you're already beefing with? He said it straight. To him, that move screamed revenge, pure and simple. Sly made it clear that he never got invited to those huge mansion parties everyone talks about. His meetups with Diddy usually went down in hotel rooms, private, quiet, and out of sight. The first time he said he got paid, but after that, the amount always changed depending on how long things went on. Some of those nights stretched for hours, even spilling into the next day, way longer than most people could ever keep up with. He described how some of those sessions started late at night and didn't wrap up until the sun was back out. Still, through all that, Sly said their communication stayed weirdly normal. They texted like any two people would. And get this, one time when Sly needed help covering a hotel bill, Diddy actually sent him money. Whenever Sly was in town, they'd sometimes link up again, like it was just routine. One of their shortest meetups happened out in Los Angeles. Everything was set up fast and ended just as quickly. But Sly swore something felt off. He said even small details didn't seem right, like the marijuana he was given. It didn't taste normal at all. He pointed out that being in LA, he knew exactly what real weed should taste like. And whatever that was, it wasn't it. When Sly told his story, he didn't try to spin it as some kind of crime or coercion. He said it felt more like social scenes, parties, late-night hangouts, and money that came afterward. At the time, nothing about it seemed illegal or forced to him, just part of that fast, flashy world they were all caught up in. But when someone asked if he ever felt taken advantage of, Sly didn't dodge it. He admitted that, yeah, in the end, he did. What really made that feeling sink in was how fast everything went cold once the case hit the spotlight. No more texts, no calls, no checking in. It was like the connection never existed. Once he was no longer useful, the whole thing just vanished into thin air. And when the interviewer hit him with a hypothetical, asking if he'd ever go back if Diddy reached out years later, maybe with more money on the table, Sly gave an answer that caught everyone off guard. Gene Deal dropped another bombshell when he spoke about how people are now accusing 50 Cent of snitching on Diddy because of what was shown in that explosive documentary. Especially the parts tied to Tupac and those wild clips involving Keef D. Some folks online are saying that kind of footage never should have been included, pointing fingers at 50 for putting it out there. But Gene wasn't buying that narrative at all. He said the truth was the complete opposite. According to him, 50 didn't even make the final calls on what made the cut. He was just part of a much bigger machine. Then Gene went even deeper. He said that for a long time he thought people defended Diddy just to get close to the lifestyle, the fame, the money, the power. But over time he started seeing something darker. He believes some people stand up for Diddy because they see themselves in him. They're not protecting the man, they're protecting the behavior. And now, as the truth keeps spilling out, they're all getting exposed, one by one. If you've been following this story and want to see where it goes next, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and drop a comment. Let's talk about it.